Welcome to all the members and non-members of IFGE. We have been sharing quite a lot of knowledge on renewable energy and the CBG industry. Very recently, MNRE has come out with a revised guideline on waste to energy scheme. We have privilege of taking all these guidelines, the instruction, whatever is newly formed directly from MNRE. We are privileged to have today two of the stalwarts and the what you call leaders from the MNRE itself. So I take this time very quickly to introduce Dr. Sangeeta Kasture, probably who are all related to biogas and CBG would have already talks or the articles or various notifications, but it is customary to introduce. Dr. Sangeeta Kasture is a scientist and heading biogas division in Ministry of Renewable Energy. She personally led waste to energy, biomass to power, and many more initiatives. When she was in Ministry and Ministry of Science and Technology, from that platform also quite a lot of innovations like sustainable aviation fuel. The first platform was set from there. Carbon capture, etc., has come from that platform. Also, through the incubation program, many of the entrepreneurs, new age entrepreneurs, were privileged to come out and experience or launch their product through Ministry of Science and Technology during her tenure. So I welcome her. Without taking much time, I request Sangeeta ji to address us as an inaugural address. Later on, we'll follow up with the longer presentation from Dr. Gaurav Mishra ji, whom I will introduce later.
Thank you, Mr. Hegde ji. Good afternoon to all of you and those who are joined, because this has been rescheduled twice. So I guess there has been difficulty for IFGE, but I guess maximum of people have joined, mostly developers and the futuristic developers who are also willing to apply for these waste energy projects and all. So thank you so much, IFGE and Erida and my colleagues for organizing this webinar within very short span of time. As you all are aware, the National Bioenergy Program is being implemented. This is in phase 1 since the launch of its launch in November 2022, which aims to promote bioenergy projects like waste to energy, biomass, and biogas. These projects, which is definitely contributing to our net zero emission goals by 2070, which India has already committed. This aligns very well with the sustainable development goals, of course, and also not only that, this also provides very good opportunity for decentralized clean energy solutions. We all are aware that there has been abundant biomass, which is surplus biomass available. It's agriculture residue, industrial waste, or we can say cattle dung and municipal solid waste. So all of this is a good opportunity to convert these waste, which is in various forms, solid, liquid, or gaseous forms, which could be converted with value addition, converted into various good forms, either energy or organic fermenter, etc. This program, as its major objective is to generate energy from the waste, but also it provides good opportunity for employment, energy independence, reduce air and land pollution, and most importantly, it also helps to reduce the stubble burning because we are using this biomass for various projects. The focus is for cleaner urban and industrial waste management. The program also support generation of compressed biogas and power from various organic sources like municipal solid waste, agriculture agriculture residues and industrial waste. This can definitely contribute to our clean energy transition, which is ambitious goal of MNRE being a nodal agency for Ministry or new and renewable energy sources. I'm very happy to say that since launch of this National Bioenergy Program, we have almost supported more than 78 projects in the waste energy in last couple of years. Out of that, 70 projects have already been commissioned, while 8 are under installation. And also, I'm happy to say that there has been a very good, outstanding response from the stakeholders, developers to this scheme. Why? Because the almost 600 crore which was allocated for this scheme, that is already been booked. We have also able to release the central finance assistance to many 50 projects of waste to energy area in this area. So I'm trying to say that there is a good response, there is a good opportunity for this, and we have received more than 100 applications in this which are pending, and we will be considering those only once we will be getting the additional budget which we are also seeking and working for phase 2 of the National Bioenergy Program. You all are aware that there has been, this is a growing sector, and there would be challenges for implementation and for which are the sunrise sectors. So policy with respect to technological and financial challenges, all these challenges definitely the developers are feeling. So we are trying to address those issues, and we are trying to help in terms of both technological as well as policy and financial preparation. So considering the challenges with respect to feedstock availability, technological solution and generation. So recently on 27th of June, the guidelines, revision in guidelines have been notified by MNRE, and those my colleague Dr. Gaurav Mishra would be making a presentation and he will elaborate on that. But this will definitely help in streamlining. We will be able to release the CFA as well as there is some phased release also proposed, so that which will be useful for reducing the paperwork as well as simplifying the approval processes. And the developers can opt for um, part of the CFA after the once the project is commissioned that way. So that details Dr. Mishra will be presenting. I'm not going to make into detail, but this will be ease of business will be happening through this, and I think developers would be able to reach us, and if there are any issues, so they can reach to MNRE directly or to IREDA, which is the implementing agency. So if there are any doubts, clarification, we would be happy to address this. And this will definitely help in boosting the bioenergy sector, specifically the waste to energy sector, which has a huge potential and opportunities in India. And we would be looking forward to great response from the developer side to these projects and to entire bioenergy program. With this, I would pause here, and thank you very much for organizing IFGE and all my team members. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam, for sparing your time. Basically, we have seen a huge, what you call, revolution taking place in the household biogas. We also saw the huge leap of improvement on the solar, and all my industry members are very hopeful and supportive to MNRE to take even the biogas mission forward at the same power and zeal. Thank you for joining. Sanjay ji, I would request you to take over and deliver a welcome address.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shashiji. Dr. Sangeeta Kasturi, we are thankful to you. You, in spite of your busy schedule, and you have other commitments also within the ministry, in spite of that, you were able to, take out your time and address this to set tone for this webinar. I must say that MNRE, since Dr. Sangeeta Kasturi is driving this program in the ministry with the, a strong support of Dr. Gaurav Mishra, we see a very strong team which is trying to push all favorable policy initiatives for bioenergy sector, whether it is CBG or biomass. With this kind of a team, we were fortunate to have the meeting on 1st of July, which was organized by MNRE under the chairmanship of Additional Secretary Mr. Sudeep Jain. and we were assured that we will have a monthly review meeting in MNRE on the projects that we are that are being executed in the field of CBG and biomass. So that is a very welcome, sign and a very positive step from the ministry. In the first meeting, though the CFA issues, the guidelines which have been changed that were discussed, I will not, go into the details of that. Dr. Gaurav Mishra will speak that in his presentation. But beyond that, also, there are certain issues with other ministries. They were also fully discussed, in detail. Whether it was the issue with respect to MOPNG or the fertilizers ministry or DDWS and fertilizers, all such issues with it which are affecting the CBG sector, which are helping the CBG sector to grow. We discussed that there, and in fact, Additional Secretary assured that wherever MNRE can pitch in and put in a word to other ministries, they will do. And it is only due to the effort of this strong team which I mentioned, and because they understand the sector and they are passionate about this. So it is great for IFGE to work with MNRE and provide whatever inputs we are able to, whatever feedback we can from the industry. So it is definitely important for the industry also to come forward. And in IFG, whatever you feel you can communicate to us, we will be happy to pass it on to MNRE and seek whatever help and whatever support is required from there. So I will not take much of your time. I again thank Dr. Sangeeta Kasturi for joining, Dr. Gaurav Mishra for taking this lead to make this presentation, and I also welcome all other participants who have confirmed and who have joined. We have by now 103 participants. I'm sure there will be many more who will be joining soon. I also thank Shashi for moderating this session. So I'll request Shashi to please take this session forward, and we will give more time to the participants also. I think the best way, Shashi, will be to request the participants to put their questions in the chat mode, and from there we can take it up and request Dr. Mishra to clarify those points, whichever whatever industry has whatever clarifications they need. So it will be easy for us to conduct it that way. So over to Shashi.
Just 1 minute,
Yeah, ma'am. Yes,
Ganju
ma'am.
ji. So, thank you so much. Even IFG, I would like to say that your inputs and push from your side, because policy intervention, because you also understand the sector, because you are representing many industries. So I'm also thankful to IFG or team, because that is also able, that your feedback is able to help us in revising the guidelines. Please excuse me because I have to go for another
I
meeting.
know
So
you
I'll
have an
skip.
important meeting,
Thank you.
so thank you. In spite of that, you were able to make for those 10 minutes. Thank you once again.
Right.
Yeah, thanks to Dr. Sangeeta Kasturi. We have Dr. Gaurav Mishra ji from MNRE. He's a senior director at MNRE and very supportive officer and scientist. He was director at Sperry also, and many more other organizations. Apart from being in the administrative role at MNRE, he is personally into energy research, technology, utilization of information technology into the biomass and the renewable energy sector. And whenever we got a chance to meet him, he always asked one question: what else can be made better? So we are very privileged to have him today and take us through the presentation, because probably this presentation is going to be without any mediator. It is directly from MNRE. And we have Nidhi, who has taken a lot of pain and organization skills to gather every one of us. I request her to share the presentation.
I'll be sharing it, Nidhi, right? I'll do it.
Right. Yeah.
Dr. Isab, I'll also request you, after this presentation, if you can just speak for 5 minutes on the, recent meeting, Additional Secretary under the chairmanship of Additional Secretary, that some points that were discussed. That may be also of benefit to the, participants.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
and there are quite a few list of questions which is already gathered. So
Yeah.
we'll take that up. And any more questions can be always posted on the chat box. We'll take it. Thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you, Sanjay ji, and Shashi Hegde ji and Nidhi and the complete team from IFGE for pushing us hard and coming back to back with us for this sector and bringing this into the mainstream. And because I understand there are a lot of challenges which needs to be taken care of, and with the constant the push from the IFGE. Even and with the back-to-back discussions and the proliferations with the different ministries and departments, we are now able to reach to one set of a revision in the guidelines, which was notified on 27th of June in that case. So without taking much of a time, what I'll do is I'll quickly run through with the presentation, and then probably we can take questions one by one in that case. So whatever comes up. So before that, I wanted to update you one thing, because very recently, because considering the kind of challenges with the developers are facing under the CBG sector, so the ministry, which is MNRE, and the program division, the bioenergy division, they have taken a call that for every month, first Tuesday, we will be having a meeting with all the developers and to understand their challenges, the set of issues, and we'll try to bring in all the departments and the ministries also in that the forum, so that it can be addressed and can be taken up head on in that case. So coming to the revision in the guidelines, and specifically for the waste to energy sector, which primarily consists of maybe next slide you can run through, please. Yeah, so as we all know that National Bioenergy Program, which was is one of the leading program of the ministry, and it was notified in November 2022. And this was initially designed for from 21-22 to 25-26. So the complete National Bioenergy Program was designed it in two phases, the phase 1 and phase 2. And the phase 1 was having with a budget outlay of 858 crores, and the phase 2 was for some 857 crores, which probably we will be submitting it to for the concurrence from the cabinet, and going ahead possibly with the newer and much expanded version of the phase 2 as well. So just for a quick glance, so this National Bioenergy Program has three main components. One, which we talk about the waste to energy, wherein we talk about bio-CNG, supporting to bio-CNG projects, biogas for be it for thermal or power, and for the power generation application from the agriculture residue through a Rankine cycle, which is also called as a combustion process and all. So these all activities or the subcomponents falls under the waste to energy sector, the program. And when we talk about the biomass program, which possibly in a due course of a time, maybe after 2-3 days, there is a separate program which will be focusing on the revision and guidelines under the biomass program also. So under that, there is a financial support to the cogeneration, which is non-bagasse, as well as the pellet and briquette manufacturing plant. And third is the biogas component, wherein we are providing a financial support to small and medium scale biogas plants for be it for thermal or for the power generation applications and all. Next, please. So this is, as I have mentioned, waste to energy is primarily there are 5 different subcomponents: biogas generation for thermal, then power generation based on the biogas side for the power generation application we are talking about, and then from biogas to bio-CNG we are talking about, and then we have power based on bio and agriculture industrial waste, which is what we are talking about through the combustion route, and then we have a biomass gasification systems and all. So these are the primary, the 5 subcomponents under the waste to energy, which has been supported through different, there are slabs and all. So I'm assuming that I'm not touching those slabs and all, because I'm assuming that the complete CBG fraternity might be aware of the kind of a financial support which is being provided through the MNRE for setting up these kind of plans. Next, please. So this, when we go for the revision in guidelines, yes, because we understand the importance of a bioenergy segment as such, the sector on the national level, and how it is contributing to the success of and meeting the energy security parameters and all on the national level. So there are different times when the different kind of schemes were introduced under the waste to energy side. So the one was introduced in 2018, then 2020, and then the National Bioenergy Program, which was initiated or notified in 2022. So as we understood after having a detailed discussion with the different the developers and understanding their issues and challenges and the difficulty faced by the sector. So the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has introduced the changes and modifications to support all these developers. And this the amendments in the scheme guidelines was notified, as mentioned by Dr. Sangeeta Kasturi also. It was notified on the 27th June 2025. And this is primarily to address the challenges faced by the project developers in the bioenergy sector, specifically for the CBG sector as well. And if there are challenges with the other part of the waste to energy also, so they are also being covered under this the revision in the guidelines. Next, please. So there are a few, I'm sure the complete team has, the fraternity has gone through they must be having a copy of the existing scheme guidelines. So I'll just touch upon the few of the areas where the changes have been made. So for when we talk about the plant performance side and the performance testing of the plant under the waste to energy segment, initially it was designed in a way that the plant has to, during the inspection side time, the plant has to run for at least 3 consecutive months, including the continuous operation of at least 72 hours, which is like 3 days continuous operation has to be there at an average of minimum 80% of the rated capacity of the plant, which is also the installed capacity of the plant. So considering, because there are the different challenges on the offtake side, so and because of which the developers were not able to reach to the 80%, or not able to run the plant at the 80% of capacity for the 3 days continuously, and otherwise it would have been they would have been burned their the money by they're flaring this CBG as such in that case. To understand that pain point, so we have made a changes in this, and we are talking about the only change which we are talking about in this the complete performance criteria is, instead of 72 hours for running a continuous this plant for 72 hours, we have reduced it to at least they have to run it for minimum 24 hours at an average capacity of 80% of the rated capacity of the plant. Which means from 3 days, it has been reduced to 1 day. Only 24 hours they have to show running their plant at minimum average of 80% of the rated capacity, and wherein at least the 3 consecutive months of the plant running remains as it is. There is no change in any other of the parameters and all. Now, second, if you can see, there is on the left-hand side, the performance of the project for at least 3 consecutive months, the PLF for a period of at least 3, earlier the CFA, if you see, it was put it in the slab rates. If you are having a greater than 80% of the PLF during these 3 consecutive months, you will be eligible for 100% of CFA. So this has been changed. Can you go to the next slide, please? So we have gone for, instead of providing or disbursing one single time CFA release, we have gone for the phase-wise release of a CFA for the waste to energy projects. So what we have made a change is, instead of only one-time disbursal, now the 50% of the total CFA, this will actually be released once the plant obtains a consent to operate certificate from the State Pollution Control Board. Which means when your plant is ready for commissioning, or it is ready for the operation part, when you receive the consent of operation for operation from the State Pollution Control Board, that certificate, if you receive, if you can share it with us, And during the inspection, we can release the 50% of the CFA against the bank guarantee, which we are talking about, and for the same amount. So this 50% of the total CFA, which is applicable or eligible, this will be, you will be able to receive it in that case. So this is the first change which we made it for the performance testing on the phase-wise CFA, and the balance CFA will be released at either your plant achieves more than 80% of the PLF, so 100% eligible CFA you will be applicable to, and or otherwise, in case of if your plant during that inspection duration, when you go for the final inspection, if a plant is not due to any reason, if your plant is not able to achieve more than 80% of the average PLF, then instead of giving the balance of the CFA and in slab basis, we have made it to the pro rata basis. For example, there is also an example which is made. If your plant load factor is 73%, for example, so your CFA would be on a pro rata basis, which is like instead of 80% or something, which is otherwise it would have been the slab rate. Now you will be entitled for 91.25% of the eligible CFA. So if suppose if your plant load factor is 77, so this percentage will increase. So anyone, if you are able to achieve somewhere around 79% of the PLF, so you will be applicably you will be receiving the eligible CFA in that case, rather than getting the slab rate basis of CFA, which is a very good sign for you will be entitled for a higher CFA in that case if it is not otherwise given it in a slab rate mode in that case. But there is also one very clear instruction also been given. If any plant, if they are not able to run their plant more than 50% of the PLF, which is of the rated capacity, then the plant will not be eligible for any CFA in that case. So it has to, it becomes the prime responsibility of the developer that they have to run the plant at least more than 50%, so they become eligible. And then if they are able to run show it above 80%, they become eligible for 100% of CFA. Otherwise, the CFA will be provided on a pro rata basis in that case. So as I've mentioned in the star of the last line, the second installment of the release of the eligible CFA will be calculated after deducting the first installment of 50% in that case. Next, please. So there is also the amendments which has been made in for the performance inspection side. Earlier, it was mentioned very clearly on the left-hand side, if you can see, the performance inspection of the plant will have to be carried out within 18 months of the date of commissioning, beyond which the in-principle approval will be cancelled in that case. Or otherwise, if there is a delay, the developer has to put in the request for the extension in that part. So the very first change which we have made it over here is, instead of only from the performance inspection has to be carried out within 18 months from the date of commissioning, we have made a change here. It is the performance inspection of the plant will have to be carried out within 18 months, either of it, like from the date of commissioning or within 18 months from the date of issue of in-principle approval. So whichever is later. So that is another window which has been given to the developer, wherein they can ask for the inspection within the 18 months from that particular, either it could be date of commissioning or date of issue of in-principle approval in that case. So, no, go back, please. So in that case, if suppose if any developer who wanted to have an extension of a suitable period, they have to follow the same the process. They have to inform us timely and they have to submit a request so that this extension can be granted from the ministry side. So in addition to this, another change which has been made to make things more transparent and more easy. Earlier, there has to be the developer has to choose any one of the following agencies for the inspection of the plant, which is listed in the left-hand side. So now the ministry's autonomous institute, which is the Sardar Swaran Singh National Institute of Bioenergy, SSS NIBE. So they are made a coordinating agency for this kind of inspections, and they will do a joint inspection along with either the concerned state nodal agencies, which they may decide, or the renewable energy, the state nodal agencies, or the BTDCs. So they, basis of the availability of the second inspection agency. So the finalization of the inspection, the second inspection agency will be done from the coordinating agency, which is NIBE, and then the two of them will go for inspecting the plant for the performance inspection part. So as of now, this joint inspection team has to visit the facility and submit both inspection reports prior to 50% release of CFA, after obtaining the consent to operate certificate, and secondly, prior to the release of remaining CFA. So these are the two major changes which has been made on the performance inspection side. Next, please. So this is, as we have mentioned, that if there are any further changes, if we see there are still some kind of a challenges which has been not been dealt by the ministry, and the challenges been felt, the developers are facing those challenges and all. So we have put it very clearly that this will be like further through proper channel and all, and from with the approval of Honorable Minister, we can get the things done in that case. Next, please. Yeah, so these are the only few changes in the revision and guidelines, which are actually, if you see, are substantial changes which have been made. And so now the floor is open if there are any questions or any suggestions, possibly on this side. So we will be taking it up one by one, and would be very happy to answer all the queries if there are any. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Some of the questions probably your presentation could answer it. But during the early registration phase, we had some of the pre-filled questions. We'll go through that very quickly. Then later on, we'll come back to the chat box where some of questions are there.
Right.
Some of these questions may not be questions. These can be just a suggestion, or they are asking for the feedback. So I will cover all of them. Somebody asked, some news or some people say that CBG is not viable. So in your views, what is the major cost driver in CBG, whether it is raw material or power, or that was the question.
Shashiji, I think we should not go, we should stick to the subject.
Correct.
You know, those questions they can directly ask us. We will reply from IFGE later. But in this seminar, I think we should answer questions related to the guidelines. That's it.
Right. The second question, more often which is coming, if somebody has set up a project and in the same premise they are going for a second project, or they are going for the expansion, whether the CFA is eligible.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely, it is eligible, sir.
So that is pretty clear. Then the approval process flow, I think we should not be covering, because the Bio Urja portal is the answer. It is pretty straightforward.
Correct. Yes.
And a timeline for subsidy release, like from the application till they receive the money, very rough kind of how many months it would take, or how many times in a year it would get released. Some light on that, sir.
See, after this release, the revision in the guidelines which have been made, I'm sure the team from IREDA and NIBE is also here. Must be in the participant list also.
I saw Dr. Sridhar there.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, the both team, they are very dedicatedly like working back to back for the CFA release and the inspection part. So there have been what the team from the MNRE and IREDA and NIBE, they have worked out a kind of a calendar basis on the kind of a response which we have received from the developers, and we have listed out who all will be inspected during each month and all, basis when they are ready for the inspection and all, whether it's gonna be for 50% release or for the 100% release. So this will be taken on the monthly basis, and once this is done, so we will be very clear that after receiving all these documents and all, mostly within a month's duration time, we will be able to release the funds in that case, if they are eligible for this.
Got it, sir. The next question is somewhat related to this. This is related to people who have already applied in BioUrja portal and they're waiting for the in principle approval.
Correct.
So,
So as for that, it is very clear that there is a sticker which is also like moving on our BioUrja portal also. That currently there is no the budget available for the phase 2. So once the budget availability is made, we will be taking up all these projects or the applications basis on the seniority number which have been allotted, or the time when they have applied to the portal. And if all the documents basis, if they are fine, all the documents are checked, so it will be taken up either through the PSC, if it is self-financed the projects, or through directly from the IREDA to MNRE, we will be taking it up as it is once there is a availability of the budget for the next phase in that case.
yes, sir. Then coming back to the bank guarantee which we are speaking.
Right.
Suppose the 50% of the CFA comes to, let us say, 2 crore. Does it mean that 2 crore worth of bank guarantee will have to be given?
Yes.
Yeah. Here we seem to have a catch because generally the bank guarantee requires a 2 crore FD. So only when 2 crore FD or 2 crore worth of collateral property is submitted, the bank would release a 2 crore worth of this one. Bank guarantee is not like a loan or something. It is like one-to-one instrument. So that is where we may face some what you call the whole of the purpose may get slightly beaten up.
I understand, Shashiji. For this, like we have actually initially put it across to Department of Expenditure for getting this 50% release without bank guarantee, but Department of Expenditure has not agreed to that. So that is why this clause has been put in against this the part in that case.
Right, sir. Just I'm scrolling through the chat box now. I am skipping all those pellet-related questions, and I'm also skipping some of the suggestions which they asked. So somebody has asked, suppose they submitted the file and during the inspection they achieved 70% efficiency.
Correct.
And after a few months they end up achieving 90% efficiency. Whether it can be revised? No.
So once inspection is done, once the paperwork is done at our site and the CFA is released at 70% on the pro rata basis, the file is closed afterwards.
Right, sir. The next is in some states, the pollution control board, it is white category is made. It is supposed to be made by all the state boards, but unfortunately it could not happen.
Correct.
Whereas the white category says that is the information to the state pollution control board. We do not get typically, there is no certification or COE or CTO kind of thing.
Correct.
So in that case, the consent to operate that particular document may not be available. So how to go about?
Right. So for those kind of for any project, if they wanted to operate, generally, if they are not into a white category, because this point was also raised during our last stakeholder consultation meeting as well, which was organized on the 1st of July. If the plant is not under the white category, so every developers to start operation of their plants, they have to submit some set of documents to the State Pollution Control Board, correct? To get the consent to operate, and they get this document from their side as a certificate in that case. Wherever, if the technology or if the plant falls under the white category, And if they ask, if they submit, because even for that also they have to submit the complete set of documents on to the State Pollution Control Board. For them, for those kind of a white category plants, instead of getting a certificate, you can get a kind of a letter from them that yes, the plant falls under the white category and is eligible for operating the plant in that case now. So that document can be used as against the CTO for our records in that case.
Yes, sir. Then there is a question on how to contact SSS Nibek. Probably their email IDs are listed on the website. So
Yes,
that
yes.
must be
So what we'll do is, because the minutes of the last Ganjaju, sir, the last minutes which we had on for the meeting on this first, that minutes have been approved now.
Yeah.
And we have also requested, we have taken inputs from Director General, Mr. Dr. Sridhar from the NIBE. And there is a dedicated email ID and person name with the email and the phone number has been finalized. And that details will be shared with the IFGE also, so that they can be circulated to all the developers. If they are ready, they can either reach out to IREDA, the way they used to reach out earlier, or they can reach directly to NIBE on that particular email ID and the phone number, and can reach out to the contact person, a dedicated contact person who is there available, and specifically for the CBG developers only for this inspection part.
Yes, sir. On the chat box, I'm seeing Dr. Sridhar has listed the email ID as well as the mobile number of Dr. Abhishek Gupta.
Correct.
And for all the briquette related questions on 11th, we have a webinar through IFGE. So I request everybody to register. Colonel Rohit Dev has given the link. I'm just scrolling through any more questions. So there are certain questions which are specific to their one particular project. Means from particular developer. I don't want to take the name. So how do they follow up with MNRE? That is the basic question. Like they have done the application part, but they're waiting for the reply.
You're talking about the projects where we have not given in principle approval, right?
Right.
So if suppose as any kind of a such request which comes to MNRE, we are responding through our mail. From my side, it goes to that these kind of projects will be taken up once the budget availability is there in that case. So my request would be, if you are not applied on the Bioja portal, please do apply. Otherwise, you will be left out from the seniority list which is being created. And once the budget availability will be there, so all these projects based on their seniority number will be taken up one by one for the approval part and subsequent CFA release in that case.
Yes, sir. One repeating concern is...
And Shashiji, this is also, we are not guaranteeing as of now because there is no budget availability. So all these projects who have already submitted the applications or the proposals on Bioja portal, there is no... nowhere we are saying that this is a guaranteed that you will be receiving in principle approval or the CFA disbursal from the MNRE side.
Got it, sir. One repeating question is the format for the bank guarantee.
Okay. So this is because as of now, if you can see, there has been like one or two cases who has in earlier guideline, the existing guidelines, there was a provision of availing the advance CFA also of 50% against the bank guarantee of equal amount. So the format for the bank guarantee will more or less remain same, and there is a very small change which we are making, and possibly by the end of this month we will be sharing with we'll send it to IFGE also, so that it can be circulated to all, and through IREDA also we will be circulating all the developers part, And based on that, the format of a BG, every developers will be requested to follow the same format in that case, sir.
Yes, sir. I think we are succeeded with all the most of the questions. I'm not finding any more unanswered query on the chat box or on the Excel. Sanjay sir, do you want to take it
Yeah,
forward?
just a second, because I'd like to add something.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Dr.
Yeah.
Sridhar, please.
See, the thing is, only I request, the developers to be sure before they approach NIPE for inspection. I will tell you, because if the developer is not ready, and then for some reason, and then because many of these things are located away from our place, so the scientists have to travel all the way there. It should not happen that developer calls and if the plant doesn't work to some reason, whether due to non-availability of feedstock or underperform, then we can't revisit again. I will tell you. So based on that report, I think the ministry will take the decision.
Correct.
So if it is underperforming, it is up to you guys. So unless you are sure, please do not contact us. If you need any extension, please write to MNRE and seek extension. But there will not be a repeat visit, I'll tell you.
I completely agree with what Dr. Sridhar is saying.
Yeah.
And just for adding to what he has said, even during the inspection time of that particular 24 hours, if there is any mechanical failure, then the developer can request for the second inspection visit. Otherwise, whatever the output comes in that during that inspection visit, that will be taken as a final the PNF of that particular plant, and accordingly the CFA will be released in that case.
So
Yes, sir. It is
are
pretty
they
clear.
circulating any checklist before the visit, Doctor?
Sachin, you have anything to add?
You have any checklist before you visit them?
Yeah, I will just tell you. Sachin?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can just speak out. Yeah.
So, like as sir said, like developer himself should satisfy based on its past production. Then he can invite NIBE to do the inspection, and Dr. Abhishek Gupta would be the nodal or contact point.
My point was, I think a checklist should be made prior to the inspection so that they.
So that's what I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. So once the team will go for the inspection, then the team will check all the feedstock kind of things, how much feedstock is being fed into the digester daily basis. So we will check that point, and then after digestion, how much raw biogas is there produced. So for that, like all flow meters and all readings should be on record. That may be checked through SCADA as well as on the site where flow meters are installed. Then after that, when it will go for the purification. So at that point, after purification, how much gas is coming out? That may be in the meter cube unit. And once it is filled in the cascades, so that should be in the kg. So that will show the how much offtake is there for the stream. So we have to check three parameters. One is feedstock, raw biogas, and then purified biogas. So all those data should be recorded in the system also. So the team will inspect all these 3 points.
Just to add in here, sir, if developer may get a time, so they should go through our the guidelines, the waste energy guidelines, all documentation part which is actually required for such kind of inspection or documentation, whatever is actually needed as a prerequisite, it is all mentioned over there. Any other questions, sir?
Good evening, sir. Actually, myself Prashant Kumar Singh from GAIL India Limited. Sir, recently we are commissioning a 5 TDP plant, CBG plant in Ranchi, Jhiri, based on the 150 ton MSW. So actually the plant commissioning on 14th Jan 2025. Almost we have operated plant more than 6 months. but existing plant capacity approximate 30 to 40% of load rated capacity.
Okay.
And so, as now we have seen this revised Office Memorandum 27/6 by MNRE issue.
Right.
Here, at least 3 consecutive months, including continuous operation.
Yeah.
So, then, sir, it is any defined load for 3 consecutive months? Yeah, only
No,
1
you
to
can.
8% of load.
No, you can run the plant at any load, but when it comes to the inspection time for the 24 hours, your plant must run for 24 hours, not less than 80% of the rated capacity.
Right. But one thing question is there, so our plant load is 5 TPA, approximate 500 kg CNG per day. So
Your plant rated capacity is 5 TPD.
5,000 kg CNG per day. 5,000
Okay.
kg CNG per as per your, we have run 80% means 4,000 kg production CNG per day. Right, sir?
Yes.
80% more than 4,000 kg CNG. But
Correct.
this 4,000 kg of production, approximate purification capacity in 10 hours. We achieve this within 10 hours. So this
Yes.
is required to operate 24 hours plant.
10 hours, 24 hours, sir.
Within 10 hours, we achieve this, I think.
No, you have to have this thing in a 24 hours duration time.
Right. Okay. That time we have check also feed also checks are per day. What is your feed per day? It is
That
required to
during
check?
for the inspection side, the CFA is actually on the generation side. We are not nowhere calculating how much feed you are putting in.
Right.
That will define the percentage amount of feed which you are giving and the output which you are getting. That will define your efficiency part. So we are not talking of efficiency. What we are talking about, how much the bio CBG or CNG is being generated. So the CFA is linked to the CNG generated part.
Right, sir. Right. Okay, sir.
Sir, I will add something here. Like we will inspect hourly basis. Okay. And at the end of 24 hours, cumulatively, we will calculate the by CBG production. And accordingly, that efficiency.
Means, sir, you have checked that this raw biogas and purified gas, both.
Right.
Right, sir? No? With meter.
Even like feeding is not continuously, intermittently. That also like we will calculate based on like within 24 hours how much it got fed.
Okay.
Since we will go ahead only with how much quantity of a CBG is being generated.
Right, sir. Right.
Not raw biogas.
Right, sir. Okay, sir.
Raw biogas is just for getting idea, means how much purification efficiency is there. I mean, we can have idea ki how much slippage of methane is there and all.
All right. Okay.
Just one question. I will just add. Sometime what happens, especially during the winters, the raw biogas itself may get burned for the boiler purpose. So in such cases, you may have to consider, because microbiology is ultimately producing so much of gas, but because of the heating requirement, it is getting consumed within the premise.
Sorry, come again. Was that a question or what? I missed that.
Yeah. See, when we say CNG basis, there is a small concern which was expressed also. Basically, let us say if it is a 5 TPD plant, 300 kg worth of CBG may be getting utilized in the boiler, especially during winter months, inside the premises as a captive consumption.
Okay.
So that way, the CBG output may be 4,700 only, because 300 is getting consumed in the localized boiler. So in that case, we request your consideration.
See, Shashiji, in that case, because has been very clearly mentioned in our CFA pattern also for the different subcomponents, if biomethanation plant is being used for raw biogas, which is possibly for thermal application, which you are talking about, which you are referring about, if that is being considered, so CFA pattern will be different for that. It would have been considered, otherwise would have been for the thermal application side. Wherein for CBG, if we are talking about, it has to be a CBG part only. Will not refer to whatever is whether you are generating it for thermal or power or you are for any parasitic load. That will not be counted.
No,
Got
I
it.
think, see, Gaurav, I think he has a point, I will tell you, because see, now in your policy, you have not accounted for any technology specific, right? For CBG, it could be any technology like scrubbing and some of those things,
Hmm.
because there are some systems which work on thermal mode where they need heat energy for gas scrubbing. Okay, so if you look at the once the raw biogas is generated, it is scrubbed either using water scrubbers or amine scrubbers. When they use amine scrubber for removing of CO2, it requires heat. The heat largely comes from the biogas, raw biogas. So in
Hmm.
that sense, some percentage, maybe 5, 10%, or even 15% can be used for operating of the amine scrubbers to generate bio-CNG. So what I suggest is technically it is correct, even though the plant based on the plant total operation rather than just production of the bio-CNG.
See, whatever you are saying, Dr. Sridhar, it's absolutely okay. But in current CFA and current guidelines, we measure the CFA output basis on how much CBG is being generated.
See, that
And
is
see, in any of the case, say in any of the case, whatever the raw biogas with the what percentage of methane, we can absolutely calculate
no,
the
no,
back calculate how
no,
much
no,
CBG it would have
no.
been.
Dr. Gaurav, if you look at your guideline, nowhere it mentions like bio-CNG. It rates only 80% of the plant capacity. It says it doesn't say anywhere bio-CNG. You see the
So,
document again.
so in that case, sir, 80% we are talking about of rated capacity. It has to be rated capacity. We are nowhere saying this much cubic meter of a biogas. We are
Correct.
saying 5 TPD of a installed capacity,
Correct.
which is a CBG. So it has to
No,
be
no.
80% of the
See, that is what
CBG.
it doesn't mention anyway CBG. You see the document. In the whole document, I have seen nowhere it is mentioned as CBG. In the revised guidelines, you please go through that carefully. Nowhere it is mentioned as CBG. That's the
We'll have a
missing
look.
point.
We'll have a look, but it was very clear from our side. If we are talking about 80% of a rated capacity, it is only what we are referring to a CBG.
No, that is what I'm telling you is a missing thing in that. I think you need to refer to your document.
Yes, sir.
We'll
Yeah.
send the addendum in that case, sir.
So what I'm no, but see, I think this clarity is not there between the I think developers within
That's
the
what I'm
developers.
saying. If that is the case, we'll send the addendum to this revision in guidelines and we'll share it with everyone.
No, but I'm telling you, let me just speak from a scientific point of view. If you look at any of the biomass gasification system, also there, if you look at a rated capacity, some part of the power is used for captive consumption, and
So,
only some part is exported or maybe whatever it is done. Boy, in
sir,
that sense, there you are
sir,
giving 100% subsidy to the developer. So same thing should apply for CBG, I would say. Same argument should apply here. You can't distinguish one set of technology from other set.
sir, tell me one thing.
Yeah.
If suppose if for the biomass gasification system, if we
Yes. Yes.
say it's a 100 kilowatt electrical capacity biomass gasifier,
Yes. Yes.
so do we say we will generate only 60% of output of it and balance is my parasitic load? Can we say that?
It could be no. It could be
No,
some.
it can
No. It
never be,
could be.
sir.
It is. It
No,
could
it can
be.
never be
No.
like
No.
this.
See.
For
See.
that, sir,
No. No.
for
No. I'm
that,
telling you.
the
No. No.
gasifier
40%. No.
design
No.
has to
40.
be.
No. No. Dr. Gaurav, 40% is exaggerated. 20% is acceptable. 20% is consumed as internal power. 80% is exported.
But that's what I'm saying, sir. Even with that consideration also,
The same
80% with
argument you have. You need to provide for CNG also. Why can't you do that?
what
Tell
I'll
me.
do is, sir, I'll send you the clarification from as an addendum to everyone in that case.
No, no, that is not. But you have to be a fair on both the approaches, right? See, one end you are treating captive consumption, you're taking for biomass gas. The same thing should be applied here also. Otherwise, you remove that there.
Okay, sir. We'll have a look. We'll have a
Yeah,
look for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Gaurav Mishra, I have two small questions regarding the inspection of the plant.
Sir.
So, say, for example, in a plant, we have generated raw biogas to the required quantity, but it passes through three different purification systems: H2S scrubber, moisture removal or dew point removal, or then the carbon dioxide removal.
Correct.
So we have worked on the efficiency of all of these. Suppose on the day of the inspection,
Mhm.
there are several, implements, machineries, pumps work together to generate the final CBG. Somewhere, some fault appears or load shedding is there. Do we get the another chance of second visit or second day, inspection?
I mentioned it very clearly during my the discussion that during inspection time, if there is any mechanical failure of a particular equipment which is being used specifically for CBG generation side, and your plant is not able to generate CBG, then the developer will get a second chance for the inspection.
All right.
Yeah. They'll get a second chance only in that particular condition. If during the first inspection, if a plant does not perform well, instead of 80%, if they generate around 70% or 65%, so the plant, the inspection report will be finalized basis on that, and that will be submitted to IREDA and MNRE, and the CFA will be released on a pro rata basis of that particular, the average CFA or that particular inspection time, and the CFA will be released accordingly.
Right. Thank you. My
Thank you, sir.
second
We
question
will,
is,
sir, we will,
my second question is that the CBG volume, final CBG volume, will be calculated only after the scrubber or in the cascade, filling of the cascades through the compressor. So what will be the final takeoff or counting of the volume of the CBG?
After purification, we can consider, because your SCADA data will be giving the actual numbers from out of there.
Right. Thank you so much.
Sir,
sir, we will take.
I have one
Yes.
question here. Just 1 minute.
Yes.
So when the gas is passing after scrubbing or purification, it will be in meter cube, but we need data in kgs.
Sorry?
So we need CBG data in kgs, kg or tons.
Okay.
So when it is filled in cascade, then there will be mass flow meter.
Right.
So in that mass flow meter, whatever data we are getting, that we will consider, and that will be recorded on SCADA.
Okay.
Sir, we'll take one last question from Mr. Sharad. He was waiting for quite a long time. Then we'll pass it to Sanjay ji.
No, it has been already answered. And see, I'm calling from DCM Shiram. See, we have already commissioned the plant 3 months back, and it is running continuously for 3 months. And we have also achieved 80% capacity, more than 72 hours. That has been achieved. But we now need to ensure that during the inspection, it has to be 80% capacity should be on 80% above. Only then we will be able to get the complete subsidy.
No, sir. See, what I'm saying is, I'll reiterate once again for everyone. The first thing is your plant must operate with more than 50% PLF. So if your plant is 5 TPD, it should be running more than 2.5 TPD. That's one. Second, if your plant achieves during the day of inspection time, if your plant achieves more than 80% of the average PLF, then your plant becomes eligible for 100% of a CFA. If not 80%, if it is 70%, so accordingly, on a pro rata basis, at 70%, whatever the CFA comes in, that CFA will be released accordingly.
Okay. Thank you.
So we have given an example also. If a plant, the average PLF during the inspection, if it turns out to be 73%, so basis of the pro rata basis, it comes out somewhere around 91 point something of the total CFA, which is eligible. So that amount of CFA will be disbursed to the developer on that basis.
Okay, sir.
I have a question. Sir, I have a question. We have a plant of capacity of 15 tons per day.
How much, sir?
We have a plant with a capacity of 15 tons per day in Ambala.
15 ton?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
15 tons per day. It is in Bala, it is already commissioned. We have got the CTO from the pollution department also, but we haven't got the in-principle approval for application to MNRE. Are we eligible for 50% CFA right now?
No. The only eligibility will initiate only if your plant has been given in principle approval.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
And so, do we need idea when budget for phase 2 will be released? Any tentative timelines?
Sorry, sir.
Sir, any tentative timeline when budget for phase 2 will be released?
So we are back to back. We are working very not only within the ministry, we are working back to back with our different departments and ministries also, and we are pushing very hard to get this thing done. So not only for the phase 2, we are actually going ahead with the expanded version with the basis of the kind of interest and the applications we have received from the developer side. So a smaller version of like 857 crore will not suffice to not only to the CBG. So we are going ahead with a much bigger scheme submission in that case. It may take time. So if that has been like extended and given to us, we are hoping that all the developers may be given a chance to get a CFA in that case.
Gaurav, this is Vivek Hebar. I'm from VINP Distilleries.
Yes, Mr. Hebar, please tell me.
Sir, we have installed 11 TPD capacity plant. Now it's commissioned. Now we have from spent wash also, we have from the press mud also. Both together we have 11 TPD. And in the month of May 2024, we have applied for the CFA. So till date, we have not received the in-principle approval also, sir. We had got some query and which we have submitted again.
For that, Mr. Heba, let me be very clear and honest to you. From October 2023, all the budget got exhausted. So all the applications after 23 October, all the applications are in the wait list. And once the budget outlay has been given to for the phase 2, those applications cannot be taken if it is not released in that case, allotted.
Okay, so
I think Shashi, we should now.
Yeah, we should proceed in the
I
interest
have
of time.
two quick questions, sir. One,
this one is the last, please.
Okay, all right. So one thing, do we need a physical inspection for 50% release of CFA?
Sorry, come again?
Already
For
been
50% release of CFA, would we require inspection by SSS NIBE and the state nodal agency?
As per the existing revision in guideline, yes, the inspection is needed. But we are actually trying to work it out. If we get an exemption from this, from the Honorable Minister, that against the CTO submission only, there possibly could not be, the visit could be needed for that duration in that case. But as of now, basis on the existing revised guidelines, yes, the inspection is needed.
Okay, and follow-up question on this. So for the CTO, so suppose if we submit to the state PCB any document saying, okay, we are exempted under this provision, would that letter alone suffice, or do we need a copy of the letter from the PCB also that you are exempt from obtaining the CFO, something like that?
No, we need a letter from the State Pollution Control Board. Even if you are exempted from the CTO part, there has to be a letter from State Pollution Control Board.
So in certain cases, there is a delay in getting that from the PCB, but we submit a letter to them and they acknowledge it. Would that suffice?
So for that, you have to wait, sir, in that case. So this cannot be taken up without the CTO or the certificate which is given against the CTO submission certificate part.
All right.
If you are exempted.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Sanjay sir, I wanted to proceed on what of things.
Yeah. Thank you, Shashi. A couple of things before I close. One, this webinar we will put on the YouTube. So those who have missed out and those who were not, those who missed out at some points, they can also visit the YouTube channel of IFGE. Maybe in a couple of days we'll put it on that, on YouTube, and then you can see this video again. The second point, that if there were certain questions with regard to biomass, we are conducting one more webinar on biomass briquettes pellets on 11th at 3 p.m. And I request all participants who are from biomass sector to please join. We will that day also have Dr. Sangeeta Kasture and Mr. Shahi from MNRE joining us. So you can ask questions directly to them. So I think it was a very useful session, and most of the questions have been answered. Still, if there are any questions, I would request you to please send that to IFGE. Nidhi is already in touch with you. You can send your questions to us. We will try to get your answers. Beyond these guidelines, also, if you have any other questions with respect to CBG, we will try to find out answers from the concerned organizations, and we'll get back to you. So I will request you to please stay connected with IFGE. We have many social media handles, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. So you will remain updated on whatever is happening in this sector and what kind of policy work we have been doing. Once again, I thank all participants who have joined today and from different parts of the country. Before I close, I would like to have one question to Dr. Gaurav Mishra, because being representing this industry as a federation, we have an ambitious program for CBG of around 5,000 plants. And I can see the activity now because of a couple of years effort that we made in collaboration with the ministries like MNRE, MOPNG, fertilizers. We have been able to bring it to some position now. Do you think those 1,000 plants we will be having sufficient budget available from MNRE the way we had for solar and wind in future? What is the outlook of the ministry with particularly with respect to this sector? So then I'll close. So I want to have
Sanjay ji, thank you, because you brought a very important point for this, because the government of India has a very clear target of setting up of 5,000 CBG plants.
Yes.
But considering the kind of amount of raw material which is available, that is one. Plus, there are n number of new things which are popping up for the utilization of the same raw material for different applications also.
Yes.
Considering that as well, but there will actually be some amount of a substantial raw material which will be made available for the CBG generation part. So considering all these basis, the facts and figures and all, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy and Bioenergy Division, just to give a ballpark number, we are actually trying to go ahead with, instead of a few hundreds of the plan setting up through new scheme, we are focusing for setting up or providing support to 1,000 CBG plant during the next phase in that.
Great. So that is what I wanted to hear from you, sir. So with this positive note, so again, I thank Dr. Gaurav Mishra. He is always forthcoming, positive. And Dr. Sangeeta Kasture, advisor in ministry. So whenever we approach her, we get she extends a lot of support and help to us, and the entire ministry, additional secretary, everybody is always forthcoming. So we'll definitely have a positive time and positive phase for this sector in future. So once again, I thank Ministry, even Dr. Sridhar also, who joined with his team and clarified certain things with respect to inspections, and all participants who participated today. So thank you once again, and we close this meeting.
One small announcement once again, sir, if you allow me.
Yeah, please.
Again, I am trying to reiterate the one which I have mentioned earlier. The Ministry, the Bioenergy Division, with the able guidance of Dr. Sangeeta Kasture, Sudeep Jain sir, and the Secretary sir, we all are here, the complete team, like the team who is working back to back under the CBG sector, the biomass and the biogas, the complete bioenergy team is here to support the sector. And for that, every month, the first Tuesday has been designated very clearly for addressing these challenges and the issues of the developers under the waste to energy segment. and you all are more than welcome to be a part of this, the deliberations and the discussions. And if there are any challenges, will be more than happy to address those and take this the complete sector to the another level in that case. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So nice of you, and thank you once again, all of you who participated, and we close this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.